Okay, so here in this video, we're going to look at kinetic energy. So just a quick recap. Energy can be defined as the ability or the capacity to do work, right? Energy can be defined as the ability or the capacity to do work. And we have two types of energy, two major types of energy. We have potential energy and we have kinetic energy. These two are classified as mechanical energy, right? Mechanical energy. So we've looked at what potential energy is in a previous video. And I said potential energy is the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its position. So here we're going to look at kinetic energy. So what is kinetic energy? Kinetic energy can be defined as the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its motion, right? So this is the key word here. It is the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its motion. Potential energy is the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its position, right? By virtue of its position or its state at rest. While for kinetic energy, it is the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its motion. So the formula for kinetic energy is equal to half mv squared, where your Ke is the kinetic energy, m is the mass, and v is the velocity of the body. So the formula for kinetic energy is equal to what? Half mv squared. This formula is very important, right? So let's look at an example here. Calculate the kinetic energy of a 4 kg object moving at 5 meters per second. Calculate the kinetic energy of a 4 kg object moving at 5 meters per second. So the first thing I would want to do here is to bring out the parameters, right? So calculate the kinetic energy of a 4 kg object. That tells us that the mass of the body is what? 4 kg, right? Moving at 5 meters per second. That tells us about velocity. So our velocity is equal to what? 5 meters per second. Calculate the kinetic energy. So what we're looking for is the kinetic energy, right? Calculate the kinetic energy of a 4 kg object moving at 5 meters per second. So what is the formula for kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is equal to half mv squared, right? So this is equal to 1 over 2 times, what is our mass? Our mass is what? 4 kg times 4 times the velocity is what? 5 meters per second. So that will be times 5 squared because we have v squared here. So that will be 5 squared. So this will be equal to 5 squared is 5 times 5, which will give you 25, right? 25 times 4 will give you 100. 100 times 1 is 100. So this will be 100 over 2. And that will be equal to 100 divided by 2 will give you what? 50. So our kinetic energy is equal to what? 50 joules. So note this, that energy is measured in what? In joule. So energy is measured in joule, whether it is potential energy, whether it is kinetic energy, energy in general is measured in what? In joules. So this is very important. This is the SI unit for measuring energy.